you guys, what's up? A new Michael Jackson album. Huge news. This is what the Michael Jackson fan community has been waiting for. Or is it? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about Thriller 40, what we know so far. It was recently announced this past week that there will be a commemorative album and lots of other things to come in celebration of the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I want to talk to you guys today about everything we know so far. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the initial fan reaction, how the Michael Jackson online team responded to that, and stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal thoughts about Thriller 40. You don't want to miss it. You're now watching MJ Fangirl TV.
Girl, you got to we can touch the sky
Alright you guys, so let's start off from the beginning. I want to start off by telling you guys everything that I know, and we're gonna basically go in order. So first of all, as you guys might know, if you're on the michaeljackson.com newsletter, all you have to do is go there and sign up. It's pretty easy to join. But they sent out an email, and this was sent out last Sunday, and it said the Billboard Music Awards will be the first to acknowledge the Thriller 40th anniversary. And it said, watch the Billboard Music Awards tonight, which was May 15th. And it said there will be an acknowledgement of the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's landmark album, Thriller. And look for the press release tomorrow as we start the countdown to the anniversary in November. So, as MJ fans, we know Thriller came out 40 years ago, so we expect that there would be some type of celebration or acknowledgement. I know that Prince Jackson has been mentioning, oh, it's going to be big this year, Thriller 40, when he's been talking about his Thriller Nights party, which is the fundraiser for Heal LA and the Dee Dee Jackson Foundation. So I knew that this was going to be big if Prince Jackson was mentioning something about it, but to be honest, I didn't expect the estate would do anything really, like release anything rather. So that was a cool surprise. Whatever, they didn't mention it in this email, but we later learned through other news outlets, I believe, prior to even them sending this out, that Maxwell, the soul R&B artist, was going to be performing a tribute to Michael Jackson by singing Lady in My Life. Kind of a deeper cut. Kind of cool because not something that people really think about when they talk or think about the Thriller album. So I was down for it. I was excited. Sat down to watch it. Actually, I taped it. And in my group chat with my girls, they were watching it as it happened. But it happened in, like, during the last 10 minutes of the show, so we kind of had to sat through the whole Billboard Music Awards just to see it. And there was no like real acknowledgement of actually Michael. It was just an announcement, like Maxwell now is going to perform Lady in My Life to commemorate the anniversary of 40 years of Michael Jackson's Thriller, and that was pretty much it. He did a great job, not much to say on that, but now let's get to the next day. So next up, on that Monday, which was the next day, we got an email that said 40 years of Thriller. Pre-order Thriller 40. This double CD set includes Michael Jackson's original masterpiece Thriller and a bonus CD full of surprises. There was also some information that I'm going to be getting into a little bit later, but this is basically what we received. It was a very short email, and it had a link to pre-order. It said out November 18th, and I'm gonna put the email here so you guys can see exactly what was said. But it also mentioned something that I'm gonna be talking to you guys about why this is so important and why I think that the strategy could have been a little bit different and it would have worked better, because there's some exciting news in here also that I saw. But anyway, let me talk to you guys about this logo. Now, if you guys can see, Thriller 40 is a whole different look. It's missing that iconic Thriller font, that Michael Jackson script from the 80s that was seen everywhere, and it looks a little bit different. The cover is obviously the same in terms of the photo, but the graphic, the Michael Jackson 40, is something that I think a lot of fans were taken aback by. I really didn't notice it as much, I'll be honest with you. When I first opened the email, I was just like, okay, whatever, because I'll be honest with you, as a longtime fan, I was around for the Thriller 2001 special edition with all the bonus tracks and the interviews. I was around and I purchased Thriller 25. I was around and I purchased the Thriller picture disc, the original album Thriller. So there's only but so many ways that you can give me Thriller and I'm gonna be excited about it. So I just looked at it, whatever. But I jumped on Twitter, you guys, and I saw so many tweets, like so many tweets of fans being like, this is junk, it's garbage. the font is so bad, this looks like lackluster, and people were just really upset about it. And then if you click through the link onto the Michael Jackson website, it shares that there's going to be a second bonus disc, as it does say in this email, but there was no mentioning of what the songs are, just like that they were unreleased music that was going to be on there. But unreleased for Michael Jackson fans doesn't mean unheard. So are you going to put, you know, Hot Street and Got the Hots and that kind of stuff, Carousel, full version? Those are things we have. Well, Carousel's different because that was released, but later. But are you gonna put things that have already been on the internet for a while, or is this gonna be totally new things? You know, the Michael Jackson fan community, most people have been asking for unreleased music for a long time. I am not one of those people. I really could, I mean, I love new projects. Like, I love new projects, but I'm not someone that's like, I want new music, because for me, I just like, I'm happy with what Michael released and that's it, whatever. Of course, I would have loved for him to release more, but he's not here, so I tend to not really care too much about like hearing stems or demos or whatever. But I know that not most big fans are not like me, right? Most people are wanting that material. So as expected, people were really upset because not only are they being shown this new logo that they're like, okay, what is this? It's brand new, but they also didn't really tell us any information. They just said that the tracks were gonna be unreleased, but there's no information, so it's hard for people to wanna pre-order, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing that I wanna talk to you guys about is the merch. So I think the following day, we were sent an email about merch. And all the merch, which looks like this here, and I was super shocked about this, but none of it had Michael Jackson's face or likeness on it. So for me, that's a deal breaker. Of course, I love to buy stuff like this. This is not official, but like it's got like the Thriller, the font from the Thriller music video, and it's a jersey, it's a cool shirt. But I mean, would I have loved it if Michael was actually on the back or something? Loved it even more, yeah. For me, I love collecting Michael Jackson shirts and wearable items. So it's never something that I'm gonna try to like purchase if Michael's face is not on it from the one spot that has the right to use his face and likeness. So for me, I was like, I'm not gonna buy this merch. The merch is like, whatever. But hey, again, I wasn't really going too crazy about it. But I started to see a lot going on in the fan community in regards to this logo, and people feeling slighted and people feeling like, this is garbage, like this is not what we wanted. But it's so interesting because in one instance, like the fan community is always like, we want new music, we want new releases. And they don't care anything about the estate, they don't care, I mean, the other estate projects like the musical, or MJ1, or this biopic that's being worked on, or what else has come out? Thriller 3D a couple years ago. The On the Wall exhibition, the museum exhibition that was approved. I love all those things, and you guys, if you have been watching my channel, you know I actually love and support pretty much every estate project that has been put out besides like the Michael album. I've supported almost everything because I have really loved being able to still celebrate Michael Jackson as a whole. For me, when Michael Jackson died, one of my biggest fears was that I was gonna lose like this big hobby and passion and interest that I had and this cool connection to the fan community. And because there have been things and projects and events and things to go to and things to look forward to, I have not lost that. And so for that, I'm very grateful. But I will say that there are people that don't care anything about those things and all they want is music. And now they got music, or we're getting music, and it's like still not good enough. But again, I think that has to do with the fact that we don't know what the unreleased music is. We don't know what the tracks are. That's what happened. Now, that's now all Tuesday, okay? So follow me. Sunday, we get the email about the Billboard Music Awards. Monday, we get the email about 40 Years of Thriller. This is actually Tuesday, this is the next day. So I'm a little off with my timeline, but they responded the very next day, which goes to show you that they really do see all the comments and everything. And they basically, I'm gonna read part of it and then you guys can read the rest. I'll put it up on the screen. About the Thriller 40 album design, we want to thank all the Michael Jackson fans who have expressed their excitement about the Thriller 40 campaign that will be rolling out over the coming months, which will include the release of the 2 CD album coming this November 18th, 2022. Some of you expressed your concerns about the change to the Thriller album cover packaging as part of the 40th anniversary celebration. We wanted to share with you that the original album packaging is not being replaced permanently, only as a part of the campaign to celebrate this milestone anniversary this year. After the campaign concludes, the original packaging will continue to be used on all pressings of the Thriller album. It is very common for artists to make changes to album packaging to mark special milestones like anniversaries, remastering, etc., including Michael, who changed the photo layout and treatment on the lettering for Thriller 25. And to be honest, it is something that we think is a smart thing to do. In this case, the photo comes from the same photo shoot, but is slightly different, which I didn't even realize, you guys. And the biggest change is just to the font for the lettering, so that overall it feels both familiar and new at the same time. In selecting the new fonts, the goal was to make the design feel fresh and current for music fans who are only now discovering Michael Jackson in this current album. Here we get to the last part. We would encourage you to focus on some of the things that are yet to be announced that are part of this campaign and are directly in response to the numerous fan requests over the years, such as unreleased material and 4K short films. Please stay tuned for more announcements about Thriller 40 as the estate has planned several anniversary activations between now and the end of the year. Thank you, MJ Online team. Okay, so number one thing to talk about when it comes to this email. I think the email is addressing something that the fan community was not even talking about from my perspective. To me, fans didn't want that new graphic, period. They were just like, we don't want this new font, what is this? And I think everybody knew that it wasn't a replacement. They knew it was just for Thriller 40. But that's just my perception. Maybe the estate perceived it differently. So that's one thing. The second thing is, at the end of this email, it says to focus on numerous fan requests over the years that will be addressed, such as unreleased material and 4K short films. But in the email, it really didn't address that. Like, I strongly feel in my heart, and I'm not even talking about myself, I think that this rollout would have been a little bit smoother if the online team had utilized content creators. There are things that sometimes when you read a press release or you read something short, you're not really absorbing it. And that's why the influencer market at large is like one of the biggest marketing tools that consumer goods brands use, services use, all companies use, because they are people that can connect to people in a certain way and convey the information in a certain way. First of all, I want to go back to that initial email. And this is something that I think everybody looked over, because I was talking to a friend and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy anything from this shop MJ Online. I want to buy my CD at Walmart. And she was like, oh, it's gonna be at Walmart. And I was like, what? Because I had read this email, but I didn't really read it carefully. See, if I was brought on, or any content creator was brought on, you know, with a creative brief, say, hey, please share this information, I would have been able to share this, and this would have been in my mind to share with you guys. In addition, it says special versions of the original Thriller album will be available on vinyl, one with an alternate 40th anniversary cover at Walmart, and a second with a commemorative vinyl slip mat exclusively available at Target. And also, Mobile Fidelity will make both a hybrid SACD and an Ultra Disc one-step LP set pressed at RTI and strictly limited to 40,000 numbered copies. Both are mastered from the original analog master tapes. First of all, what does that all even mean? Number one, that means that we as fans can go into Walmart or Target and pick up our Michael Jackson vinyls. I'm not sure if the CD will be there. We'll be able to pick up the vinyls in store, okay? Second of all, the one step. I don't know much about this SACD, but I will say the one step, because I had to go online and do research and ask. The one step is like a pressing that is like literally one step away from the original master recording, whereas I believe in other vinyls it's like 3 steps away. So the quality is gonna be like the best quality that we've ever had. I believe that the one step is like $100. But that's something that I would be excited about. Like, I would have loved for the estate to communicate this information in a different way, because I don't think it's all bad. Do I love the font? No, but I mean, there's other things that I really don't love in regards to like design and stuff that have been released even while Michael was alive. I don't really care about the design like that. That's not me. But the thing is that because we had limited information and because it was just text, there was no talking head, there was no video, there was no anybody explaining anything, it was hard for us to digest. And that's, I think, the big problem. I do wish that they would bring on content creators. Again, it doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody. It could be just someone with 1 million subscribers on YouTube that just talks about 80s music or old school music. It could be a person that's like a celebrity. Shoot, it could be Questlove. Questlove also sent out a tweet about the font. I mean, I just think that it would be really cool to have someone explaining these things, because although you're marketing towards young and newer fans, cool, but like the fan community as a whole and people as a whole in general kind of would like to have information given to them in a way that they can easily understand. And I think that's the problem with these michaeljackson.com emails, is they're not really communicating the information in a way that's exciting for us. And also, the end of that last email said we should focus on things that haven't been announced yet. But how can we focus on being excited about things that haven't been announced yet if they haven't been announced? I didn't know anything about 4K video until I read that last email. I didn't know anything about unreleased music besides, you know, what they mentioned about the 2-disc set. But again, a lot of times they say unreleased and we've heard it all already. So I say all that to say that's basically what's been happening so far with Thriller 40. Am I totally disappointed? No. I mean, I'm excited about Thriller 40 as a whole because you guys know I loved Thriller 3D. That was actually one of the first videos that I ever posted on my channel, was going to see Thriller 3D with girlfriends in Canada. And I thought that that was amazing, getting to hear John Landis talk about Thriller and the impact that it's had. And I've been excited ever since to see Thriller 3D again. It has not been in theaters yet, again, since that time. But all of these are things that I'm excited for because I'm grateful when something new Michael Jackson related comes out, period. However, I will say that even being me as MJ fangirl, had no desire really to go pick up that CD because I didn't know what was on it. Usually I'm like, yes, I'm gonna pre-order, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I didn't do that because I did not know what I was buying. So anyway, I say all of that to say I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys and ask you guys what your thoughts are about Thriller 40 as well. I saw that there was like a petition going around to change the font and the logo. I get that because also in my professional life, I'm in marketing, and I know that a lot of times you don't want to change things that are familiar to the consumer. So I guess they chose to change the font as opposed to like changing up the main photo too much, which I actually didn't even realize is a different photo than the original Thriller. Let's take a look at them here. I guess I can put both of them on the screen. Leave me a comment down below and let me know everything that you guys are thinking in regards to Thriller 40. Are you excited? Are you one of those people that are like, the font is garbage, throw it all away? I'm gonna continue to cover all the news on Thriller 40 or whatever comes out. I'm probably going to get whatever they come out with that's music. So even if I'm not so gung-ho about the CD just yet because I don't know what's on it, I probably will purchase it, and I probably will also look into that One Step. I will see you guys next time. Bye.